Chemistry Room Fragrances is the perfect addition when elevating the vibe of any space. Whether if it's your home, car, or office, and something needs a quick refresh, our room fragrances provide that beautiful burst of fragrance with just one quick mist. Shop now at www.chemistryroomfragrances.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram at Chemistry Room Fragrances. Chemistry Room Fragrances. Smells so good. Hey, Cameo.
Hey, Camille. I love your intro. It's so nice.
Thank you. I'm always working, wanting to improve and, just be better. So I was like, it's season 10. We want to always take it to the next level. So always just trying to make the viewing experience just a little bit better for you guys. I don't want it to be the same old boring, So
it looks amazing. Like, I was impressed. I'm like, okay, commercials. It looks amazing.
Yeah, we got to plug the brand or whatever. And just trying to make it better. And you guys are special to me. So I want you guys to know that I'm glad to have you here, and I wanted to reflect in how I introduce you guys. So that's something I just wanted to start doing for you all, because you guys don't have to come on my show. So I just try to make it, a little doper. So
you did it. You exceeded my expectations. So
thank you.
You're winning.
Thank you. We do want to kick off tonight. This is another episode of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. I'm your host, Camille Essick, and I want to welcome you guys back to joining me here. I'm just super excited, as always, just to have you guys on. My mic is not acting right. It's always something. I don't know what's going on.
I can hear you fine, though. I can hear you good.
Okay, it's like I can't hear myself. It's weird. So
okay.
I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I'm super excited about tonight. If you haven't heard, I'm doing a flash sale throughout tonight until I think I'm going to stretch it to maybe like 2 a.m. For all the vampers out there. So if you go to the website and use the coupon code GBM25, you'll be able to get 25% off your Good Black Men merch, because you know what, all of them are not bad. I don't care.
Okay.
Even with the shenanigans on this week, it's still some good Black men
out there. Nobody's perfect. We just saying they ain't bad.
Right. So we're just gonna keep going on. We're gonna pray for all families involved. We're praying for the Rock family. We're praying for the Smith family. We are just excited about there we go. We're on. I don't know what that was about. Okay. But with that being said, my sister, my friend, my girl, Cameo BoBo, she is back in the building. I'm super excited to have her here. It's always a blessing just to have her here. She's got so much going on. And before we kick off everything, Cameo, like, what's been going on? What's up with you? Like, what's new? What's popping?
Girl, I'm just like you, taking things to new levels in 2022. Okay, of course, 2022 is still my year, because God got us popping. We ain't never gonna stop. So this year, I've been building my membership. I have a goal-setting membership with female entrepreneurs that are slaying their goals and loving and encouraging one another and building one another up. So I've been building my membership. I'm getting ready to release a video for my Sound Games. I'm really excited about that. Next month, I'm going to be having a big birthday party. I've been doing a quarterly socially event that you can come hang out, have fun. It's called, sometimes it's Sundays with Cameo, sometimes it's Saturdays with Cameo. This time it's a Saturday, April 23rd. I'll invite it, free admission, 2-drink minimum. And I also just had a Cameo Experience event, which is a transformational experience for women, encouraging them and motivating them, giving them an opportunity to network and build community with each other. But each month is a different theme. And so this theme was self-love. And so we went to the spa, myself and 8 other women, and had an amazing time. And what I realized is that as Black women specifically, and women in general, we do not allow ourselves to feel special enough. Camille, I know you have no problem in this area because I'll text you and you be like spa weekend, spa day, pedicure time, nail time. But there are so many women that have never taken time out other than to get their nails done or probably a pedicure, to even see a spa, to even think of getting a massage, to even think of having someone, spend time soaking their feet or just coming together with other women. They don't even do that. So I'm really excited about what God has called me to do and the different ventures that he's given me to explore. So if anybody wants any more information about that, they can follow me on all of my social medias and get that info.
Absolutely. And she did not cap. If I feel like Camille needs some me time, Cam is going to get the time in. I am notorious for going to, shout out to Gracie Ray Beauty. I went there.
Listen, is that in Charlotte?
It is in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is where I go to relax, relate, and release. Shout out to Gracie Ray. That is my sister girl. Okay. Amazing services. And anytime I need a little extra love, I go there and get what I need. Or shout out to my girl Jess. That is my nail tech over at the nail bar, Pretty Pink Nails by Jess. Yes. And I'm a believer. Like, I don't do crazy stuff. I know people go to the club and do all these other things. That's my outlet, is going to the spa and getting that. Because I think particularly as Black women, we're nurturing. We pour out so much. But sometimes we forget or we negate to pour back into ourselves. So that's one of the things I promise to myself, is to make sure Camille gets her time. And I have a standing appointment. I go like clockwork, and I spray chemistry room fragrances at home. By the way, tonight's fragrance is Cherry Rediscovered. It is part of that flash sale, 25%. Go get that. But I definitely set things in my home to make sure I'm able to relax. As far as just the mood, the scent, soft fuzzy pillows, textures. I'm a girly girl, so I have to have it. So I totally feel you on that. I think that is so dope.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. And as we get into this conversation, I do want to ask you something about Camille. Now that things seem to kind of open up, some places never really closed down, and we're seeing people out, but now we're shifting from that pandemic phase of life to now maybe post-pandemic-ish. So dealing with health, mental health, what is your take on that? Because, people are still a little apprehensive about going out, or just more reluctant to open up, or even those that may be experiencing post-pandemic depression. What are some things that people can do to kind of shift back into society and get back into gear?
I think it's good to think about what you were doing in 2019. What were the activities that you were involved in? What were the things that you were enjoying doing? And though you may not be ready to go back out to the, I don't know, you may not want to go to you might not want to go out to the club. You might not want to go to the social gathering. You might not want to go to a venue that has 100 people packed in the space with no mask. That might not be your thing. But you did used to go and get your nails done. You did go out to eat with your friends. You did enjoy a good movie night. You would go bowling. There are things that I'm sure that we all enjoy doing, and we're relearning the things that we enjoy doing. For myself, I forgot that I enjoyed going to networking events until I got invited to one the other week, and I was like, man, I really had a good time. This is what I was doing in 2019. Yes, there were about 30 people there, but you got to wear your mask, and it was a comfortable environment for myself. So I think that just figuring out what you are comfortable doing and finding a way to go and do that. That's what I encourage people to start. Just start small. If you're going to the grocery store, you can easily go to the movies or out to eat. I mean, I don't want to hear it. You can go. You can do those things.
Yeah, I agree. I know I've kind of had to get myself back into a space just because then, what I've been dealing with over the last week, we lost Michael. That hit me really hard. And so I kind of pulled back, and now it's like, hey, Cam, you need to jump back out there, because we can get so accustomed to kind of being in our shell and away from everyone. It can become habit to where you almost forget, like, hey, you have friends. There's people that care about you. There's people that love you. And it can almost be selfish, because it's not about you, but it is. I get it. We need self-care. But part of that self-care is allowing others to love on you, to say, hey, we miss you. How are you doing? I think that's really important. So even in that way, sometimes if we feel apprehensive about going out with the friends, and it's not about you always going out, but people want to see you too, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think that we forget that our presence is a blessing, so I might have a vibe or just a experience that I want to tell you about. And the vibes that we get when we're in together, like vibing in sisterhood, hanging out together, laughing together, we both empower one another and uplift one another. And we walk away feeling even taller and even better. And I think with some experiences, you just need to be in person to get that. Now you can get it from Zoom too. I'm not gonna say it could just be just real girl talk here as we would be in person. But it's just nothing like seeing your beauty, I can't see your shoes, I can't see your cute jeans. Just being inspired by one another and seeing one another. I think there's just value in that.
Yes, very good. I totally agree. Sometimes you need to hear that. Yes. I mean,
yes. Okay.
That needs to be like a whole sound bite. I don't know how you would do it, but just no one does that like you. And every time I hear it, I crack up. Like it's so funny. It's so keen. I'll be like, that's Cameo.
Thank you, girl.
Yes. So going into that, I love talking about affirmations. Where are you right now as far as affirmations right now in this setting? Because there is so much going on. Like we see all this stuff on social media, the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith situation. Then you're reading about, like today, they are finally signing the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act.
Which That's how you post that. Mm-hmm.
It's like, he's been dead how long? But I'm glad they've signed it. But those things, and then you read about the microaggressions of Ketanji Brown Jackson, which is the first Black woman. She's being nominated to the Supreme Court and going through those confirmation hearings, and to see the stress she's gone through. And one of the things that got me during the hearing, Cameo, was when Senator Cory Booker, in the midst of all this craziness, he tells her, "You're worthy," and he tells her to persevere. Or she said to persevere, but he told her she's worthy, and she starts to cry. And to see me as a younger Black woman seeing this mature Black woman in tears, because you've got other senators, other judges pretty much telling her, we don't want you in this space. Why do you feel like you should deserve to be in this space? Like literally just taking her through the ringer. But yet her predecessor that's just been nominated, that doesn't look like her, did not get that same type of questioning. And so when Senator Booker tells her this, you can see this relief of like, thank you. It's like a Black man affirming another Black woman. So how do you feel like with our affirmations as a little girl, like you created Fawn, and having these affirmations, having the positive self-image and having the confidence, how important is that, Cameo, starting from a little girl coming now into womanhood, when we are in these spaces where we're being nominated to the Supreme Court, or speaking in front of city council, we're sitting on benches, we're running companies, we're getting degrees, or whatever we're doing. How important is that so early?
It's very important. So much so that I think a lot of time I don't think I've ever publicly told this story, but my grandmother, she was a darker complexion woman, my father's mother. And she grew up darker than her mother. Her mother was very, very light-skinned, almost could pass for white. So she was the darker child in the family, and she got called Lil Blackie. She got called Shoot. I think that's the stuff that comes down the chimney, that black stuff. Yeah. She got called those kind of names. And so when she had her first granddaughter, which was myself, she said, "I'm going to make sure that my granddaughter does not have any type of self-love or self-hate issues, because she grew up with those things." And so as soon as I could start talking, this was her thing. She said, "Cameo, who's the prettiest little girl in the world?" And she taught me to say, "Me." And she taught me that all the way through. Now, I don't remember doing that, but I know for some reason I always had a thought in my head that I was special, a thought in my head that I was beautiful. And I truly believe it was because of those seeds that my grandmother poured into me early on. Life did try to tell me I wasn't beautiful. Life did try to tell me that I was not special. But because I had that firm foundation, and I believe more, we believe more of what we think about ourselves than what other people think about ourselves. So if we at any time find ourselves believing something about ourselves, we need to think, who said that? Is this something that I just believe, or did someone say it about me along the way and I accepted it as my truth? Because once you realize that it's really not your truth, you can change your thought and start showing up in the world the way you want to show up. I think that it's important that women especially say affirmations. I am beautiful. Every woman needs to say that. I am special. I have a purpose. I am powerful. I am loved. And I can't express how much I believe in confessions. I call them confessions because I believe that we're actually speaking out our truth when we say these things. God didn't waste his time with anybody. We all have different personality traits and things that may show up in the world a little bit greater than others, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you're not beautiful. That doesn't mean that you're not special in your own right. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve love. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't see yourself the way that God sees you. I really think that it's important that we watch the messages that we tell ourselves, especially in this new coming type of world. If you look at the internet and the things that our children are exposed to, if you have, what is it, BBW? Is that what it's called?
BBL, the Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, BBL. Yeah. You gotta have that if you want to be cute on pictures. You gotta, have the prettiest bundle. All of these things that are just based in money. They're just trying to make money off of us. It's not about whether we look good or bad, or whether we're gonna survive or live longer because of those things. They just want our money. So it's important that if we don't have the money to get that surgery, if we don't have the money to get the long hair, that we still can look in that mirror and say, hey, I'm beautiful. Hey, I'm special. Even if a young girl decides to wear dreads, one of my girls, I have that program called FOM. It encourages girls to know that they're fearfully and wonderfully made. Most girls start off in preteen. So I had some girls, and she was saying they tease me at school because of my dreads, but I like my dreads. And, I told them, hey, girl, I'm so glad that, first of all, you like your dreads and you know that they're wrong for teasing you. And you're not coming home crying about it. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. And you just watch and see. You keep your dreads. When y'all get to the 5th grade, somebody else going to say, oh, I want my hair like yours.
Yes, and you can put her onto Hair Locker as well for those that want locks. Shout out to our girl, Ro. She specializes in products for those with locks. So we just have to throw that out there and support our girl. But that's very true, because I think what I call the European standard of beauty, when you look at certain things like with hair, complexion, and like you said, it's like, who told you that?
Yeah.
Where did you get that from? And I think it's also amazing that your grandmother knew to speak that into you, because she already knew, being darker complected, what the world was going to try to do to you, try to tell you. And we have to recreate and create our own narratives to say, hey, I am beautiful. I am strong. I am Black girl magic. I am fierce. I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
And, and speak these things. I think it's very important, even in the moments when you don't feel pretty, and say, hey, what, today it's a day, and I'm going to get through it. And tomorrow we're going to start over.
Yeah, that's why I created that t-shirt and that line that is called Beautiful Every Day, because I just figured out, look, I am beautiful every day, whether Cameo have lashes on or not, whether Cameo's hair is done or not, whether Cameo got a big fat pimple or a burn mark on her forehead. Cameo is beautiful every single day, period. And I don't care if you don't believe it. I gotta believe it. I gotta believe it. So I'm gonna show up in the world in confidence. I'm gonna show up in the world knowing that my all is not based in what you see. There's a lot in here that I have to give, and I have to love, and I have to give, and a lot of love I have to give. And I just stepping over to another side. One thing that I don't like is labels, You know, a lot of people are very judgmental, and they want to hear this label or that label before they decide to be involved with you. But you're missing out on so much when you don't give people a chance to actually see who they are. And so I just encourage people all the time, stop being so judgmental and thinking you know the person as soon as you see them or hear them. Right. Wait a minute and let it breathe and see who they are. They may really be a wonderful, a positive person in your life, but you just let it go.
Yeah, I think particularly women, particularly sometimes Black women, we can be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
You see someone walk in the room, oh, she thinks she's all that, and look at her shoes, and she's bougie, and she, just this conversation going on in your mind when the things you've been praying for, that person could be what you need, that connection that you need. But because you want to put a label on somebody and just assume things, like you said, and didn't let it breathe, you could be cutting off your blessing and not even realizing it. And I've learned that a lot of times when people do that, it's not you. It's just they're projecting something within them as far as a security or insecurity, or maybe they wish some things, but because they don't know how to express it, it comes out in that language when they address you, or even in the energy when you're around some people. There's exactly right. I've been around other women and I've tried to be nice and polite. I'm like, oh, hey, girl. And it's just like, hey. And I'm like, wow, but it's like, I don't know what's going on, but it's something there and it's like, why do we do that to each other culturally? You're not saying all the time. It's some spaces is definitely got a lot better now because of what we're dealing with today in society within the last couple of years. But overall, as a whole, it's like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop putting labels on. And if I am, or if you are coming in with Louis bag, red bottoms, Telfar, whatever it is, and on the exterior, but maybe I needed to do that because I was dealing with something personally. And in order for me to show up to even get out of the bed, I had to do the lashes. I had to do just so I could feel present, because maybe the world has been on my shoulders. And so it's kind of like, this is how I'm presenting to, like, hey, let's pull it together. And so before you judge me and think, oh, she thinks she's all that, you don't even know what battles I've quietly had to battle to even get out the door this morning.
Yeah, no. I agree. Period.
That's why it's so important to say, when you see another sister, hey, good morning, how are you doing? Or just, I'm not saying being in someone's face, but just sometimes just acknowledging and smiling, because we're all dealing with a lot. Whether if you're a mom, I'm not a parent, but you're a mom, those things up. You have a son in college, and I'm pretty sure that comes with things, that you have to deal with on top of branding plus a 9-to-5. There's a lot on Cameo's plate, and you smile and show up, but maybe people don't always understand, the storm behind your smile.
Yeah. Yes. Whitney said, yes, ma'am. Amen. Yeah, I think, like you said in the beginning of this, the world is bigger than us, and we get stuck in our little snow globe. Those snow globes, you shake them up.
Yeah,
we get stuck inside of those, and I do that from time to time. And I think, okay, let me get out of my snow globe and check on somebody. Let me get out of my snow globe and see what other people are up to and what other people are doing. And we just have to remember that unity is so important. Right now, I think with COVID and everything that happened, a lot of unity has been broken, and people aren't talking about it as much, but it is very important because we need one another in order to thrive and to function. I cannot have a successful business if people do not support it. I need y'all to give me money. I need y'all to show up to my events. I need y'all to buy my stuff. It's just obsolete. I have no business without people. But it's so funny that we take so little consideration to our customers, our clients, and the people that we do business with. Not speaking about you, but there are other people that customer service just doesn't mean anything to them. They don't really care about that. Did you buy it? Whatever. But I just think if you understand unity and that we need one another, and that you need me to support you, and I also need you to support me by being grateful or just saying thank you, then the world will just function at a higher level and higher energies just because of that one fact. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. And also as an entrepreneur, not just with our clients and customers, but amongst our peers, I think sometimes we live in a space, Cameo, where how can I word this? It almost feels transactional. It's like, well, I'll purchase from you if you purchase from me, but if you don't post my stuff, I'm not gonna post your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, are we really friends? Or is this just a network and a connection? Am I just a pawn, a piece on your chessboard?
Yeah.
You know, and it has to be bigger than, you know, I posted your picture, you posted mine, you repost. It has to go bigger than likes and hearts, you know. And I think that's where we kind of mess up at, is it's become so transactional. It's like, well, how do you weed through all of that and you find your core people? You know, people are like, oh, I support you, I rock with you. On the flip side, on the opposite end of that, you know, people say, oh, I support you, I rock with you, but then they never purchase, you know, so it's like a two-edged sword. And there has to be a line drawn where it's like, do you support me? Do you shop for me? But at the same time, where do you make it to where it's not just a transactional situation?
Yeah, I think, you know, just realizing that everybody is a person and that everybody has something going on, like you brought up in the beginning. So the person on the other side of this transaction has feelings. Yeah. They are not, and my feelings are not any greater than theirs. So I think it's important that we just be people of our words and don't say anything that we can't do. You know, if you know right now, you could just say, hey, I'm so excited about your new product. I just don't have it right now, but as soon as I can, I'm gonna get something. And when you think about it, share it. Just share it. Comment under their stuff. It is so many things that people can do without spending financial money with me. Follow me. Tell people about me. You know, those things are priceless. A lot of the opportunities that come my way are from me showing up on social media and people sharing my stuff. So I appreciate that. And that means a lot. So I always try to tell people, thank you. And you're really good at it, Cam, with the reels and everything that you do, because you're always bigging up another company. You're always bringing people onto your podcast who their voices may not be heard. And you're just always supporting other people. And that's why you're blessed and things just keep flowing back to you. And one thing I learned early on, Zig Ziglar, he passed now, but you know, he's a sales coach and really big and has a lot of great motivational books. But he says, if you want whatever you help, he says, help as many people get what they want in order to get what you want. So whatever other people want, if you see a space or a place where you can assist them, help them. Because in return, you're gonna get what you want eventually. You know, it's not like it's all me. I learned a lot of stuff by myself. I had to pull through and figure it out. But that does not mean when somebody comes into my membership or asks me for advice that I have to be like, get it how you live, honey. I had to figure it out and you got to. There's a place and a time for that. You know, there's a place and I can tell them something. I can lead them in the right way. I can ask them to sign up for my membership. Hey, if you sign up for my membership, I'll be happy to meet with you and tell you some things. You know, like there's a way to do things. So that's what I think.
I totally agree. On that, the reason why I do it, I'm a big champion of pay it forward. Reaping and sowing is a real thing. I'm big on sowing. It doesn't always have to be finances. If it's me doing a duet with you on TikTok, or, you know, even though I bought your book and your planner, post it again in my reels or whatever. It's just, or even having those come on the podcast. And that's one of the reasons why I had the platform shift the way it did, you know, a while back, because I was like, I don't want to hear me talk for 30, 45 minutes. It's just, who can, and kudos to those that can. That's just not how I'm wired. I do well in spaces like this where it's like more intimate conversations, smaller circles to talk about things. I love what Issa Rae said about, you know, in this space, particularly as Black creators and entrepreneurs, you know, we have this thing where we want to just do this horizontal networking to climb the ladder, so to say. But what about networking and bringing people with you on the not the horizontal, which is the vertical, but the horizontal,
Yeah.
meaning, you know, reach across the aisle. Like, well, you know, I'm growing, Cameo's growing, so let's grow together. Instead of me clamoring, trying to go, you know, the vertical up and down to network, well, look around you. Who's around you in your space that we can come together? So that's why in the podcast platform, I'm like, you know what? You know, let's build up. I can build a platform and bring people along with me. You know, I'm not as huge yet as maybe like the Breakfast Club or 95.7, those other spaces, but we can thrive here in this space and grow on that rung together. And I think that's very important. That is, as you go along, you know, that I'll take you with me and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it.
I think so too. I'm honored when people want to collaborate with me or work with me in some type of way about on an event or anything, and I do the best I can to figure out a way where that's, you know, beneficial for us both. But I always I'm very honored when that happens, because there were so many years that I reached out to people and they didn't want to collab with me. You know, and that was for whatever reason they were. I knew I was gonna be good and my stuff was gonna be good. You lacking, you missing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you missing out, but for whatever reason you choose not to, you know, respond or collaborate with me or want to have coffee with me. And I don't want anything from you. I just want to introduce myself to you, tell you about what I do, and maybe along the way, if you see a place where we can work together or an event that you think I might be interested in, it's all I want. All I want is to meet people, network with them, and help them build their businesses and be whoever they want to be. But a lot of times people are so worried about getting to the next level and who are you, because you ain't got this accolade or this accolade. I don't want to deal with you because that's you in my level. I'm trying to level up. We all trying to level up, baby.
Let's level up together. Let's level up together. I think also culturally there's like a trauma of trust. You know, it's as soon as someone approaches you, this guard will go up like, what do you want? They're trying to get money from me. It's just like, you just, not you per se, but just people tend to wall off. And it's like, time out. Like, I don't want anything from you. I'm not here to take from you. Right. It's just okay. You know, I see you doing that. Let's put my little something with your little something and make it work together. But there's always that wall, or immediately it comes in, well, how much is this going to cost? Or I'm going to charge you this. And don't get me wrong, there is a time and a place for there's some financial transaction to go on, but in some spaces, pay it forward if you can. And we have discernment and you feel that tug, like, you know, this is one of those times where it's not about money, because I will tell you something, and something I've learned even in podcasting, a relationship, connection, and networking, favor will take you much further than $1.
That's everything. That's why that lady that went on the Supreme Court that didn't get interrogated like this black woman, she don't know the same people. That's all that is. That's all that is. That white lady didn't get all that interrogation because she probably knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody.
Yeah, it's just, I just really believe that the favor goes farther than $1.
It does. It does. I agree.
So we're going to move on to another segment. Cameron, you always look fabulous all the time.
Thank you.
Just from day one, you've been snatched, girl. You just look so great. So we are out here trying to shed this quarantine weight. What is going on as far as what are you doing to stay in shape, stay fit, you know, because you're busy, always on the go. So what are you doing as far as maintaining the post-quarantine fitness?
I'm so excited. I got an answer for this. Listen, so in 2020, 2021, business picked up and I was working from home and I was able to, you know, still work out and keep things going. But coming into 2022, I was like, whoa, I was back in the office. I was working more and I just was working after work on my personal business, and I just couldn't find the time to work out. So I joined my friend's fitness membership. And I've been in it about 3 weeks now. And she keeps me accountable. She gives me daily workouts. And she lets me know what I need to be doing. And that has really, really helped me. And so what I've just realized that although there were times when I could be self-motivated with fitness, but I always knew fitness was not my thing. I like to work out, but I will skip it and won't feel bad. So I know I needed to get an accountability, somebody that to keep me accountable. And I also enjoy supporting her business, but someone to keep me accountable to the goals that I've said I have for myself so that I can see myself do the things that I know I need to do. I know who I am in my head. And in order for me to be who that person is today, I need to be doing what that person does. You know what I'm saying? So she shows up tomorrow as that person. So I think if you have post COVID weight, or you are struggling to get back into the gym, figure out what you need. Do you need to hire somebody? Do you need to set you a new schedule? Do you need to get a gym membership? Do you need to get an accountability partner? Like, figure it out, because there's no reason that we should continue doing what we were doing in COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think with everyone being closed in, the gyms were closed, people are not comfortable sitting on the couch, at home, day after day after day after day after day after day, and it's just like, now that things are opening up and you want to put on, the springtime attire,
right?
The skirt is a little snug. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
So yeah,
I know with my job, they did an amazing thing. They connected with a company, and as long as you have the health insurance with your job, which I do, they have a free virtual fitness app where you get a virtual fitness coach. They mailed us a digital scale, so when you get on the scale every day, it syncs to the app, so it records your weight, and you're going to get a report every 3 weeks, like pretty much once a month, to see your progress. You record your food every day. You can send a message or get in the chat with your fitness coach. And they also have group chats where if you're feeling frustrated or just whatever you're experiencing, you can talk about it with other people that's on. It's pretty cool. So I've been doing it, like, it's been a week. So I'm just like, okay, so it's just like, oh, you get on that scale, like, oh God. But
I like that you said that, because my other friend was telling me about his job offering some type of, his job offers through their insurance, he can go to any fitness club in America and join. And so I guess that's the thing we should do, is find out what benefits our jobs. If you are working a 9-to-5 and you do have benefits, find out if there are any benefits that have come about just because of COVID. The job, but that's really cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have gotten so caught up in just going to work, going home. But I know my job, they're always emailing us about benefits and things. And so this particular day, I saw the email and I was like, oh, let me click on that. And I started reading and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I signed up for it immediately. And in addition to, I have my Planet Fitness membership. This is another tool, that I can use in the days if I can't get to my gym, in my neighborhood. It's kind of like hills and dips. I can walk. 30 minutes a day can do wonders, So, or even in the plaza where I work, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes, just get up and move your body. We have everybody has an Apple.
Yeah,
exactly. We have an Apple Watch that's tracking your steps. So maybe if you're just a couple of floors up, instead of hitting the elevator, take the stairs. Get that heart rate up, clean out your fridge. Drink water. I love my alkaline water. It's great. Sometimes I might put like fruit or citrus or something in there to get those extra minerals. If you make a smoothie in the morning, if you can't keep fresh spinach, get a bag of frozen spinach. Grab a handful and dump it into your smoothie. Do sometimes I'll do like a liquid vitamin drop into my smoothie and then throw in a little protein powder. And like tonight for dinner, instead of, cooking a huge meal, I just did like a small thing of shrimp scampi with broccoli. And then instead of doing a big lunch, I did a protein smoothie for lunch. That way my calorie intake is under 1,200 calories for the day. I know I think it's a 2,000 max, but right now I'm doing the caloric deficit just because I want to burn more. So I'm like slashing my calorie intake. So I try to keep my calorie intake around no more than 1,500 a day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
we just have to make time for it. And whatever you are looking for is looking for you. So once you make that decision that I want to get into better shape, things will start coming, emails, people will ask you to come to a class. All of a sudden, some will pop up on Instagram that you never saw before. You'll see Cameo doing a fitness exercise. You'll be like, where is she? And you can tag and see where I am. Like, whatever you want is looking for you too. So once you say, okay, I want to do this, those opportunities will start coming your way.
I totally agree. It's just so great talking to you. You have your books out, your planners out, your spa days out, your events. I want to know, like, I've heard the song. I think it's dope. Games. Like, first of all, what inspired you to write this song? I was like, what? I gotta ask her this. So, like, how did that happen?
So I just have been going through different situations with guys, and either they weren't being 100% honest with me, or when I would try to be honest with them, they didn't want to be honest back. It was just
right.
I was just tired of it, and it just got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna write a song. But all my life since I was younger, so I grew up in West Tennessee. And we were 8Ball and MJG fans, and it's all about being
731.
3-6 Mafia fans. It's all about pimping. Okay, so all my life I wanted to write like a song dogging out the guys, but
as I chat in the Gangsta Boo, let's chat.
Yeah, okay. Look, that's what I was raised on. So I wanted to write that kind of song. So but as I grew and loved on Jesus and he loved on me, I was like, well, I really can't write that kind of song. But I still felt the need to say what was inside of me. And what I've learned in my music journey, a lot of artists say this, it's kind of like a thing that happens in the moment. And I needed to get out the feelings that I was feeling in that moment. And the guy, Eric, gave me the beat. I listened to it. And on my way home, I was listening to it, and I was like, if you want to talk to me, I'm going to change your life. That's all I had. And then I added, I ain't into playing games. I don't want to play your wife. So it just took off from there. Now, I will tell you, out of all my songs, that took me the longest to write because I really just wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be a song that men felt offended by or that women would be like, oh, she making me sound stupid. I wanted it to be something that was just thought-provoking and a real conversation with the listener. And, that's what I'm really doing is I'm just feeding your soul, just telling you my truth. Do you relate to it? If you do, then think about your actions and think about who you're dealing with and think about how you're dealing with that person if you are the game player, and if you be getting games played with you, think about how you want to respond moving forward. Is this below you? Do you not want to play games? Because you don't have to play games. So that's kind of why I wrote the song in the background about it.
I love it. And the thing is, to me, like, games are so unnecessary. We're grown. If we're not seeing eye to eye, well, at least have the conversation. Yes. But I think what's so irritating is the fact that when people do lie and play the game, they call it the dating game. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you take away that other person's choice where you're not presenting facts or you're
Lord. You never know, because I still might go out with you. I might be having a good
day. You don't know, but because you're taking away options, you got what you got because of the way you played your piece.
Exactly.
And so I think that's so important that just be honest. Say if you're dating with intention, say that. If you're just kicking in or you just want to hang out or whatever, and that's your intention, say that. But at least present it in that format to give that other person the option to say, I don't think that's for me right now.
Exactly.
But I will say this, and I'm probably opening up Pandora's box. I think sometimes, ladies, we put too much out there too soon as far as expectations, and the guy will mirror that, because he's mirroring because you've told him what you want, and then when things kind of start to fall back, and you're like, well, he's not doing this anymore. And you're now telling him, well, we used to do this. And it's just because, again, if that was really his intention, it's innate. It's a part of who he is. You don't have to remind him and I won't say nag, but kind of just bring it up over and over. And vice versa. I think sometimes women will play a role to get the guy,
to get what they want. Yeah, somebody, people. We all want something, and I think that people that are honest about what they want and you are able to respond to that, I can respect it. You know, I know what I want. And you may not want the same thing I want, but there's a lot of times people still want to talk to you even though you don't want the same things. And I'm like, that's not gonna work. We have two different mindsets. At some point, somebody's gonna want their mindset to impose on the other person's mindset. And when it doesn't, because I'm not the one that's gonna accept your mindset, it's gonna be an issue, you know. So I think that's why I am still single now. People ask me, what are you looking for? I'm looking for someone with a similar mindset to mine. You do not have to think exactly like me, but there are certain things that I would enjoy in another person and understand that would be beneficial to me if they were a similar mindset around certain thoughts and ideas and values. And that's just all it is. That's just all it is. And if I do meet someone of the similar mindset, a lot of people are like, well, what if he this and what if he that? Listen, if he has a mindset similar to mine, he will not be whatever he is for long. He won't. He won't. Yeah. So I'll be able to talk to him for about 6 to 8 months, and I'll see a lot of change. Because talk to me for 6 to 8 months, my butt is on the go. I'm not playing with y'all folk. God got me popping. I'm not playing. I ain't playing.
Oh, this is why you're here. You keep me laughing all the time. I think one of the things, Cameo, is, and we bring this up all the time, is people dating for potential. And I posted earlier this week, I was like, if you date for potential, you are divorced in reality. Because what's potential, what could be there potentially versus what's really there, that's two different things.
Mm-hmm. 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 And I will no longer be fooled by potential. You hear me?
Yeah, I think at this point, and I'm not saying that they have to already be on this height of their life, but what are you working towards? You know, are you making progress?
What fruit are you showing? Where is the fruit?
Exactly.
I want to be a millionaire too. I do too. But you see me doing things to get there. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of times this one guy I was talking to a couple of weeks back, and I hope he don't watch this. But anyway,
he'll be all right.
Shout out though. If you hear me talk about you, okay. Just think I'm on you. You on my mind. You on my mind. Okay, so listen. So anyway, we were talking, and I was like, you know, what is your dreams and aspirations? Nah, I like to talk codes. I'm sorry, I have to know. So he's saying he was attempting to tell me about his desire to help people. I couldn't tell if it was community. I couldn't tell if it was like philanthropy. How do you say that word? Philanthropy. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was that. But I said, oh, okay. I said, well, do you have a plan yet? No. I'm going to get it out of my head one day. And create a plan. But I know what I'm going to do. And that told me that whatever your dream is, you're waiting on it. And I'm not waiting on my dreams. And so we already are on different roads. You know, the Bible talks about how can two walk together unless they agree on the direction. Mm-hmm. Being that I am so goal-oriented and a visionary and a dreamer, I would enjoy being with someone who understood their dreams and their hopes and was willing to take those steps to take them out of their mind onto paper. If you show this room that I'm in, there are so many Post-it notes and plans and all different things for all parts of my business. I have taken the initiative to take what's out of my head and put it onto paper to create an action plan to move forward. So by just hearing him say that, because I told myself that I was going to start listening to what people say and believing the truths that they speak as I move forward in dating. That has helped me tremendously because I hear you say that and I know what that means. And another thing a guy might say, bless you. He might say, I've heard a guy say this, I don't have to have a whole lot of money. I could be content. I just want to bless the people around me and live a nice life. And I gotta have a whole lot of money because I'm gonna change the world, and it takes money to change the world. So I pay attention to that, and I'm like, different mindset, different place. Because you're gonna be saying, we don't need to be pushing that. We ain't gotta invest in that. We don't have to do no, yes, we do, because millions of dollars are mine. Not no content. I'm content, but I'm content. I'm content, but I'm content in being who is taking this ride as far as God wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? And I just believe that with what He's placed inside of me and the dreams and the aspirations that I have, there's money involved in doing those things. And I don't have the thought of just being able to take care of my family. I have the thought of being able to invest, to be able to change my neighborhood, to change mindsets, to change the mindsets of my people, to connect with people that are, got billions. I'm like, it's just a different mindset. So I think just me taking that approach of listening to men and seeing, does it line up with my way of thinking? That helps me so much. That just helps me so much. I ain't thinking about what you smell like. I'm not thinking about how your voice sound. I'm not thinking about how you just made me laugh. I'm not thinking about where you might take me. I ain't thinking about all that. I'm thinking about your mindset and where I believe your mind is taking you tomorrow. And that's important to me.
Yeah, I think legacy is very important. I was listening to, I think her name is Latoya Laki. I can't pronounce her last name. Yes, and she said something that really stuck out to me. Women, we have this list of what we want. Oh, he has to be this, he has to be that. And what she said kind of it lined up with what had already been going on in my mind over the last few years. And it's like, okay, God knows what you desire, but what about your personal list for yourself? Mm-hmm. If you were to see yourself in the future, what does she look like?
Yeah.
Not just physically, not just the weight, but financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. Oh, what does that person look like?
Yeah.
Write down your dream woman, meaning yourself.
That's good.
And then work to become her.
Yes.
And that's where I've been the last, couple years. It's like right now, I'm not, that's not my focus. Right now, my focus is me. What is the dream version of Camille? What does she look like? And that's what I'm working to aspire. Like future me, my health. What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
My brands. I call it the 3B policy. The 3B theory. Work on my brands, my body, and my brain.
Come on now. Okay, the triple B threat. Come on, girl.
Yeah, and that's where I'm thriving in right now. And because it's not to say that I don't want to be married, I do. But right now, to mirror or be an asset to him, to be that caliber of woman for that caliber of man, it requires sweat equity. It requires work. Meaning, if you got to go through therapy, that means you need to go to school and get more education. And that means getting your health together, working on some things internally. So I think a lot of women get so focused on, he needs to be this and he needs to be that. But it's like, sis, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you working on to become that type of woman? Are you a dream woman?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the dream girl?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a headache? Are you peace?
Yeah. Yep. I hear you, girl. Yes, ma'am. Preach, sister. Girl. There might be another ebook loading, y'all.
Hey, I'm the ebook queen.
Yes.
I think it's so important for us as women, particularly Black women, for us, to do what I call, that triple B mentality, the brain, the body, and your brands. Focus on those things. And when you are evolving to become the dream woman, the dream man will show up.
Yes, he will.
Mm-hmm. So, because as I say before, when Boaz found Ruth, she was hustling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So definitely, before we shut everything down and we close out this episode, Cameo, do you have any last little nuggets or takeaways, things you would like to add before we shut down this episode?
Yeah, sure. This has been a phenomenal time together. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm loving my Good Black Men Still Exist t-shirt. When it came in the mail, I laid it on the couch and my son texted me and said, is this no, can I have that shirt on the couch? And I said, of course you can, and I thought it was so awesome that he wanted to wear a shirt that let women know, hey, good Black men still do exist, because they do. And ladies, let's not give up on that hope. Let's take this confession. Good Black men still exist, and I will be with one. Let's start saying it. We will. We're gonna be with one of the good black men that still exists. And
Yeah.
so were you gonna say something about that?
Yeah, I kind of was. It's just like, because I've had some people ask me like, why did you create this shirt? What is it about? And there's just so many different areas, and we'll probably have a discussion about it later. But it's like I created the shirt because I think as women, particularly Black women, we've gone through relationships, we've been hurt, and so then you just want to throw the whole demographic away.
Yeah.
And it's like you're gonna really throw away a whole demographic because you dated a couple knuckleheads,
Yeah.
and then and not to say that whatever he did or whatever you experienced with that person was bad or wrong, but even y'all know I'm a big advocate for therapy and mental health, and so doing my sessions, it was like, well, wait, where was I in my life when I dated these people? Like, let's unpack that. And I think what women, if we pause and we really look at and investigate, where were you in your life at 25 when you dated so-and-so? And where were you at 30? Like, be honest.
Yeah.
And Noel Jones, I love Bishop Noel Jones. He was like, when you choose out of a place of hurt or weakness or something going on in your life, maybe your grandmother died and you're emotionally vulnerable, and this person, like, maybe that's not the best time to make those type of decisions because emotionally you're not in a place that's of a good equilibrium. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Step back and evaluate the timing. Sometimes if you're really in the process of embarking onto something new and exciting, and then out of the blue, this person comes.
Yeah.
And maybe it could be a distraction to take you away from branding or writing a book. So it's like, take some time to evaluate the timing when this person shows up, listen to that conversation, also check where you are or were at that time in your life. And then go, there's 7 billion people on this planet. All these Black men out here, I just don't believe that. Yeah. Because I've seen too many good ones out here that are good fathers, husbands, cousins, uncles, god brothers. There's just no way we're going to throw away an entire demographic because maybe you chose wrong.
Amen. She dropped the mic. So get you your Good Men Still Exist t-shirt. And anybody that wants to stay in touch with what I do, you guys can follow me at Princess_Cameo on Instagram and Cameo BoBo on Facebook. I'm all about uplifting people and encouraging them to be and live their best lives. As a goal coach, I position women to defeat overwhelm and for life frustration so that they can achieve their goals and see results every 90 days for my best life formula. I have a book about my best life formula that comes with a planner. All of that information, including the information about my female entrepreneur goal setting program, is the Best Life Babes Club. You guys can join us monthly. All of that information is all on my website. You can listen to all of my music, games, and all of my other songs on any streaming platform. Just type in Cameo BoBo. You can find out information about FOM. Just go to We Are FOM. Also go to Cameo BoBo for that. I'm also wanting to book speaking engagements and hosting engagements. I love speaking and I love hosting red carpet events for 2022. So if you're interested in having me there as a speaker or a guest on any of your shows, I would love to do that. And that's about all right. Oh, event. One more thing. On July the 16th, 2022, if you guys are in the Middle Tennessee area, please come out and support my next Cameo Experience dinner party. This dinner party will be for female entrepreneurs, female creatives, and female business leaders. I'm going to have 40 movers and shakers in the room, and I'm bringing in Candace Janae. She's a marketing and social media guru out of Chicago. She's going to talk to us about being bold and courageous in life and business, because we know, Camille, that you need to be bold in life and in business, and they play off of one another. Life can be going good, and you got to be bold in your business, and it could be both ways. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be a beautiful and an amazing event. And lastly, if you guys are still in the Middle Tennessee area, on April the 23rd, I'm hosting Saturdays with Cameo. It's birthday edition. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to perform. We're going to have fun. We're going to dance. It's going to be a live DJ. And I'm going to have a 360 camera so y'all can be all superstars in the 360 camera. So we're gonna have a great time, and it is free to get in. All you have to do is get on my guest list. In the last post, you'll see all of the information, and you'll also be able to sign up for my guest list. All invited, no cover to get in, 2 drink minimum. And thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, I'm so mad. It's just like, and I have to shout you out because when I started Heart and Soul there at Nama Sushi, Ellison Place, you were the very first people that a lot of people didn't understand Heart and Soul, but without question, without hesitation, because I was so nervous. And I have to say this too, a lot of people don't know, when I started that, I was still stationed in California and my dad had just died. Like, and I'm putting this thing together. And Cameo was like, hey sis, whatever you need, because I'm here in the city, I'll kind of be your eyes and ears, arms and legs, your extension of you while you're in California. And so by the time we got everything together and I got to Nashville, just because she had just really helped me out so much, the event was a success. Did not know it would grow into what it is, now, of course, virtually because I'm in Charlotte. But it was just like, I just have to give Cameo her flowers because she didn't question. She didn't want anything from me. It was just pure support. And so ever since I've known you, you've always been that way. But that's one of the things I just remember about you when I started going into this lane. Just no question. You just jumped in. It was like, hey, sis, what do you need? I got you. I got your back. And I think us as Black women hearing that, just to say, hey, what do you need? I got you. That goes beyond buying a shirt or what. Just to
it does.
Please buy the shirt. Please do.
Right.
Just to just have that people like that in your life. I just openly want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm honored to be your friend.
And thank you. So, with that being said, I do want to thank everyone supporting the Speaker Podcast. We are going now into the spring and summer session, so the episodes will be a little more stretched out just because, let's be real, people are outside, people are traveling, and they're not in as much. So we're still going to do the episodes. They may not be every week just because, with the weather picking up and just moving with how people are transitioning, going, we outside, know, then we'll get heavier into the episodes again back in the fall. But I want you all to tune in April. I've got some great things lined up for you guys. Got some great conversation coming along. So be sure to follow me on social media at Chemistry Room Fragrances. Until I think I may stretch it out. I may go in the system and stretch it out. We may do it to 2 a.m. and do the sale until 2 a.m. So if you go there and use the coupon code, you'll be able to get that at the checkout. And also follow me on Instagram at Camille.Essick. I'm on TikTok and I'm also on YouTube. So please follow the digital stream. I'm still on iHeartRadio and then the other streaming platforms to subscribe and download there. But be sure to follow me on TikTok, YouTube, and all the other streaming platforms, as well as Instagram, and shop with me. I'm thankful to you all for supporting and rocking with me throughout the seasons. It's been great. To guests, past and present guests, thank you so much just for taking the time to sit down and join me here on this platform. I am beyond humbled that people even want to sit down and talk to me. I'm like, me? But, sometimes you got to ask and you'll be surprised if you open up your mouth and ask what God will bless you with. You have to because you ask not. Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Yes.
Sister Cam. Sister Cam.
So we're going to shut it down because, we'll go into a whole nother episode and we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But you guys, again, I hope you got something from this episode. I'll see you guys next week. Tune in to see who that guest will be. This is your girl, Camille Essick. I'm host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Good night. Be blessed. Peace.